Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes part in multiple events at Somnath, Gujarat as part of Somnath Swabhiman Parv. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference at Rajkot and launch key development projects including Ahmedabad Metro Phase 2 stretch. Another Hindu man dies amid escalating violence against minorities in Bangladesh. Fresh protests erupt in Iran as government vows to crack down. Trump says US stands ready to help. In sports, it's a face-off between the top two teams in ICC ODI rankings as India clash with New Zealand in the first ODI of the three-match series today in Vadodara. Earlier, upon his arrival in Somnath, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was welcomed by people on both sides of the road as his cavalcade traversed through the streets of the holy town. Prime Minister Narendra Modi offered prayers at the temple premises in Somnath. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also took part in Omkar chanting at the temple premises. Following the prayers, a breathtaking drone show was held over the skies of Prabhat Patan, with Prime Minister Modi witnessing the visual spectacle. Prime Minister also witnessed fireworks in the sky, revisiting the historic Somnath temple. The Somnath Swabhiman Parv is being held from 8th to 11th January, is organized at Somnath, Gujarat. It is being held to remember the sacrifice of Indians who defended the temple and continue to inspire the cultural consciousness of future generations. The program marks 1,000 years since Mahmud of Ghazni's invasion of the Somnath temple in the year 1026. Prime Minister's participation in Somnath Swabhiman Parv underscores the enduring spirit of India's civilization and reaffirms commitment to preserve and celebrate India's rich cultural and spiritual heritage. And today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is participating in Shaurya Yatra as part of ongoing Somnath Swabhiman Parv in West Indian state of Gujarat. The Shaurya Yatra, a ceremonial procession organized to honor the countless warriors who laid down their lives defending the Somnath temple, featured a symbolic procession of 108 horses reflecting valor and sacrifice. Prime Minister Modi will later perform darshan and puja at the Somnath temple. He will also participate and address a public function in Somnath. Those are visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi participating in Shaurya Yatra at Somnath Swabhiman Parv. Shaurya Yatra is a ceremonial procession organized to honor the warriors who over the centuries laid down their lives defending the revered Somnath temple. The visuals you can see a symbolic procession of horses. There are 108 horses a part of the procession, reflecting the valor and sacrifices. Various cultural performances were also put up as Prime Minister participated in the Shaurya Yatra as part of Somnath Swabhiman Parv underway in Somnath, Gujarat. Those are visuals of the Shaurya Yatra procession, a procession of devotees, pandits, and a procession of 108 horses, reflecting the valor of Indian warriors who in the past centuries played a role in defending the revered Somnath temple. Somnath reflects the civilizational heritage of India, a belief that Somnath is the foundation of India's spiritual geography. Located at Prabhas Patan near Varaval in Gujarat, Somnath is not just a place of worship, but today it stands as a living symbol of India's civilizational unity. And the West Indian state of Gujarat is set to take another major step towards regional growth and investment. Rajkot's Marwari University will host Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference, the VGRC, on January 11th and 12th. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate this conference and summit on Sunday. DD India's Tanvi Taneja reports.
Building on the legacy of 10 successful editions of Vibrant Gujarat Summit, the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference will be held in Rajkot. It will add another chapter in Gujarat's growth story. The goal is to promote region-specific industrial growth, tap local strengths to align with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of a developed India, Vikasit Bharat.
राजकोट, सौराष्ट्र एवं कच्छ में बहुत ही बड़े पैमाने में इन्वेस्टमेंट आने की हमें पूरी विश्वास है। 11 तारीख को प्रधानमंत्री जी आ रहे हैं। मैंने देखा आज कई युवा साहसिक बहुत ही उत्सुक हैं। उन्हें विश्वास है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ये कार्यक्रम में आने के कारण सौराष्ट्र रीजन एवं कच्छ को एक बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म प्राप्त होगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Rajkot VGRC 2026 on Sunday to further the industrial momentum in Western Gujarat. Regional sectors of engineering, manufacturing, textiles, dairy and green energy are set to get greater mileage through the event.
મોર આવતા ફળિયામાં આવે એટલે એ જોઈ જોઈને આ ચેપ આવડી ગયો આપતા આકારેનો આ રીતે બનાવું ખાદીનું કાપડ લોખંડના સરિયા અને મોતી વર્ક આ રીતે એકડેકથી
વીરાબેન મારવાડા ભુજોડી ગામ ભુજોડીથી આए ये નાનપણથી 10 વર્ષથી ભરતકામ કરે.
Japan, Rwanda, South Korea and Ukraine are participating in the VGRC 2026 as partner countries. Rwandan students studying at the Marwari University expressed their happiness to see the African presence at the event.
Luckily, our country, Rwanda, is among the partner countries who will be coming here. So we are looking forward to it very much.
This event happening in our school because we are having many ministers and many people coming here. So, and we are also happy for seeing our country in partner countries. Rwanda, it's also there. We're happy for that.
Wow, this is very good and it is a great opportunity for the youth and for the businessman. We are very proud that our country, Rwanda, is among the partner countries in this summit.
We are about to experience the biggest event in our school, which is the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference. Yes, so we are so excited, we are happy because the security are tight, we are seeing how people are going up and down, working effortlessly to ensure that this event is a successful one.
Gujarat, India's third largest FDI recipient, clocked an FDI equity inflow of $5,566 million during financial year 2025 till December 2024. Gujarat's investment model was set in motion during Prime Minister Modi's tenure as the then Chief Minister of the state. And with the template of Vibrant Gujarat, the state's growth story only gets bigger and better.
As India is accelerating its journey towards becoming a global manufacturing and innovation hub, Gujarat is among the top 3 Indian states, setting the lead in turning investment into impact and potential into performance. With camera person Ramakant and Mukut Sharma, this is Tanvi Taneja for DD India in Rajkot.
And DD India's Tanvi Taneja spoke to Dr. Sanjay Joshi, Executive Director, Industrial Extension Cottage at the Swadeshi Haat, set up for Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference 2026 in Rajkot. Index C is Gujarat's nodal agency providing platform to rural artisans involved in handloom, handicrafts and khadi-based industries.
So we are at the Swadeshi Haat at the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference where regional aspirations are meeting global ambitions. I am at the Swadeshi Haat here. There are live demonstrations happening of the vibrant handloom and handicraft industry of the Saurashtra and Kutch region of Gujarat. Well, the idea is to align the local growth story with the impact turning into investment opportunities here. Well, it's a vibrant display here, and I have with me Mr. Sanjay Joshi, Executive Director of Index C, which is the nodal agency behind this Swadeshi Haat. Sir, how are the preparations going for Prime Minister's visit?
See, this is at a junction where it started in 2003. So now the focus of this Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference of Kutch and Saurashtra is vocal for local. So apart from the machineries and IT, this handlooms and handicrafts also have a very prominent place in this entire Vibrant Gujarat program.
Okay, so which are the important handlooms of Gujarat that are famous globally?
There are several arts which are famous globally, but especially we have been able to accommodate 25 plus 4 live demonstration here. So this includes all districts which are included in represented by in this regional conference from Saurashtra and Kutch. When Honorable Prime Minister has been using these arts and artifacts, these articles, so they have become globally famous. Yes. He has also chosen them at the events which are of global importance. PM Ekta malls are being built in all the states. Okay. And we have in Surat, which is going to be a state of art, and we are going to have stalls of all the states in Surat at one place. So it is going to represent the famous statement by Honorable PM, Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat.
Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. Well, we are in the Marwadi University of Rajkot, and it is all set to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference where regional aspirations meet global ambitions. With the camera person Ramakant, this is Tanvi Taneja for DD India.
And Prime Minister Modi will host Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz in Ahmedabad on Monday. The German Chancellor will be on an official visit to India on 12th and 13th January. This will be Chancellor Merz's first official visit to India. The two leaders will visit Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. Later, they will participate in International Kite Festival at Sabarmati Riverfront. This will be followed by bilateral engagements at Mahatma Mandir in Gandhinagar on the same day. The two leaders will review the progress made in India-Germany strategic partnership, which recently completed 25 years. The discussions will also focus on further intensifying cooperation in trade and investment, technology, education, skilling and mobility, while also advancing collaboration in important domains of defense and security, science, innovation and research, green and sustainable development, and people-to-people ties. Prime Minister Modi and Chancellor Merz will also exchange views on issues of regional and global importance and engage with business and industry leaders of the two countries. Civil Aviation Minister Srikakulam MP Ram Mohan Naidu's timely intervention has led to the safe return of 27 Indian nationals stranded in Myanmar. Acting on the request, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar ensured swift diplomatic action through the Indian Embassy in Yangon. The victims were reportedly trafficked on false job promises and forced into cyber scam operations. Following coordinated efforts, all rescued Indians arrived safely in New Delhi on Saturday and are returning to their native places, reuniting with their families. Social media platform X has acknowledged lapses in handling content on its platform and conveyed to the Indian government that it will fully comply with Indian law. As part of corrective action, X has reportedly blocked around 3,500 pieces of content and deleted more than 600 accounts, while assuring authorities that it will not allow obscene imagery on the platform going forward. The actions were taken following directions issued by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology to remove vulgar, obscene and unlawful content, particularly content generated through X's artificial intelligence chatbot Grok. India's Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired the pre-budget consultations with finance ministers and other ministers representing states and union territories with legislature in New Delhi. Discussions focused on key priorities and inputs for the upcoming union budget. Earlier, Union Minister held 10 rounds of pre-budget consultations as part of the preparations for the forthcoming union budget 26-27. The meetings brought together representatives and experts from key sectors of the economy, including agriculture, MSMEs, capital markets, manufacturing, services and technology. From history to heroism, books have the power to bring stories to life. At the New Delhi World Book Fair 2026, the spotlight is on Indian armed forces celebrating their bravery and legacy. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay takes us inside this grand 9-day celebration of knowledge, culture and patriotism.
Books usually tell the stories through words, but at the New Delhi World Book Fair 2026, they tell the stories of bravery, sacrifices and service. As the world's biggest celebration of book has shifted its focus to the valor and the wisdom of the Indian Armed Forces with its unique theme.
The New Delhi World Book Fair 2026 unfolds as a grand 9-day celebration of knowledge, culture and national pride. For the first time, entry to the fair is completely free, encouraging wider participation from readers of all ages. On Saturday, the fair was inaugurated by India's Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, along with the Ministers of Culture from Qatar and Spain.
देश में ज्ञान और रीडिंग की इस परंपरा को आगे बढ़ाते हुए इस वर्ष पुस्तक मेला की थीम भारतीय सैन्य इतिहास, शौर्य और विवेक 75 रखी गई है, जो हमें राष्ट्र निर्माण में शौर्य और विवेक जैसे मूल्यों को स्मृति याद दिलाती है। यह प्रदर्शनी राष्ट्र के सैनिकों के लिए समर्पित है।
The fair brings together over 1,000 publishers from more than 35 countries with 600 events and over 1,000 speakers. Spain joins as the focus country, while Qatar is the guest of honor, adding an international dimension to the event. With an expected footfall of over 2 million visitors, the World Book Fair becomes a platform where India connects with the world through books, ideas and dialogue.
I have authored 4 books in the past 5 years. I mean, it's amazing to see so many youngsters are there coming to visit the book fair, and it's really wonderful to see.
Military history comes alive through books, visuals and storytelling, showcasing major wars and operations like Sindoor and honoring the bravery of 21 Paramveer Chakra awardees. This year's theme, Indian Military History, Valor and Wisdom, at 75 pays tribute to the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, institutions that have stood as guardians of India since its independence.
See, military history is a very integral part of the literature system. So this particular segment of history has not been showcased much. And now we had Operation Sindoor. We realized why not to tell the complete story of valor and wisdom, and through the power of books, knowledge, discussions, exhibitions and digital content. So this theme has been curated with the term as Indian Military History, Valor and Wisdom at 75.
A key focus of the book fair is inspiring young minds with values of leadership, discipline and patriotism.
I think this is my first time at the book trade fair, and so far it has been a really good experience. I've only gotten to see the Hall 5, but I love the fact that I have all of my favorite publishing houses as well as my bestseller books around here.
You know, the people organized here, they are all in unison. They are talking about and discussing about books. They are talking about learning different concepts. So this in itself is very inspiring for me.
Through books, ideas and conversation, this year's New Delhi Book Festival reflects India's journey as nation. As the theme says, valor and wisdom reflects that courage and knowledge brings a nation stronger. With camera person Viswabandhu, this is Rahul Upadhyay reporting from New Delhi for D-Day India.
Moving on, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Saturday urged the youth to adopt multidisciplinary learning with new fields like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, biotech and space research, among others that are coming up. Speaking at the Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue 2026 in New Delhi on Saturday, the minister highlighted that participants in the dialogue not only possess knowledge and wisdom, but also leadership, innovative thinking and a deep passion for nation building. He added that one should never get intimidated by troubles and not let any challenge overpower them. He also said troubles are not an exception but a natural part of life, and every difficulty makes one a little more mature and strong. Returning to our top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is participating in Shaurya Yatra in Somnath, Gujarat as part of the ongoing Somnath Swabhiman Parv in the West Indian state. The Shaurya Yatra, a ceremonial procession organized to honor the countless warriors who laid down their lives defending the Somnath temple, featured a symbolic procession of 108 horses reflecting valor and sacrifice. Still to come on DD India News Hour. US and allied forces carry out large-scale strikes against Islamic State jihadist group in Syria. UN Security Council will hold emergency meeting on Ukraine. Polls open in second phase of Myanmar election. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Iran's authorities indicated on Saturday they could intensify their crackdown on the biggest anti-government demonstrations in years, despite an internet shutdown. Following the protest, Iran's Revolutionary Guards vowed to defend the country's national interest and urged citizens to stay alert to the enemy's plots. While several international airlines have suspended or cancelled flights to and from Iran as nationwide anti-government protests enter the second week. Authorities have imposed wide-ranging mobile and internet restrictions, limiting communications across the country. Protests have spread across Iran since December 28th, beginning in response to soaring inflation and quickly turning political, with protesters demanding an end to the clerical rule. Meanwhile, EU chief Ursula von der Leyen on Saturday said Europe backed Iranians' mass protest and condemned the violent suppression of the demonstrators. In a post, von der Leyen said Tehran's streets and cities around the world echo with footsteps of Iranian women and men demanding freedom, freedom to speak, to gather, to travel, and above all, to live freely, adding that those responsible will be remembered on the wrong side of the history. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump in a social media post said on Saturday that Iranians were looking at freedom like never before as protests continued to spread across the country, adding that Washington was ready to offer support. The US and allied forces carried out large-scale strikes against the Islamic State group in Syria on Saturday. US Central Command, which oversees American military forces in the region, said multiple strikes targeted ISIS throughout Syria. However, it did not give specifics on where the strikes took place. The strikes were part of Operation Hawkeye. The Trump administration first announced Operation Hawkeye strike in December after an IS gunman killed 2 American soldiers and a US civilian interpreter in an ambush in Palmyra located in Syria. And the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces said on Sunday they agreed under a ceasefire to withdraw their fighters from 2 districts that they held in Aleppo after deadly clashes in the city. The SDF wrote in a statement and that we reached an understanding that led to ceasefire and secured evacuation of the martyrs, the wounded, the trapped civilians and fighters from Ashfea and Sheikh Massoud neighborhoods to the northern and eastern Syria. Syria's official reported that buses carrying the last batch of members of the SDF organization have left Sheikh Massoud neighborhood in Aleppo, heading towards northeastern Syria. The EU on Saturday urged Syrian government and the Kurdish authorities to restart political dialogue. A spokesperson said in a statement that European Union calls for an end to the hostilities in and around Aleppo, stressing the importance of protecting civilians at all times and easing access for humanitarian aid. The UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting on Monday following a request by Ukraine. According to Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha, Kiev's request came in the wake of Russia's recent attacks on Ukraine, which included use of an intermediate-range ballistic missile. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday Ukraine's lead negotiator Rustem Umerov spoke with US representatives as Kiev and Washington worked to agree on a framework to end Russia's war in Ukraine. Zelensky emphasized the importance of maintaining a strong daily dialogue with US administration. The Ukrainian president also placed full responsibility for the ongoing conflict on Russia.
We continue to communicate with the US side on practically a daily basis. Today, Rustem Umerov was again in contact with the US partners. This is our strategic task. The dialogue with the US must be 100% constructive.
On to Asia now. Voters in Myanmar queued up on Sunday to exercise their franchise in the second phase of the general elections in 5 years. Polling stations opened at 6 a.m. local time in 100 townships across the country, including parts of Sangyang, Magwe, Mandalay, Bago and Tanintharayal region. The military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party is leading by a huge margin after winning 90 of the 102 lower house seats contested in the first phase on December 28th, which saw only about 52.13% voter turnout, much lower than elections in 2020 and 2015. The election is being held in Southeast Asian nation in 3 phases. The first round took place on December 28th in 102 townships, followed by the second phase on Sunday. A final round will take place on 25th January. In all, there will be voting in 265 of Myanmar's 330 townships, including areas where junta does not have full control. 65 townships will not take part because of ongoing fighting. Another Hindu youth has died in Bangladesh, intensifying concerns over violence targeted against religious minorities. 19-year-old Joy Mohapatra died on Friday at a hospital in Sylhet after allegedly ingesting poison following a dispute over unpaid mobile phone installments in Derai, Upazila of Sunamganj. Joy's family alleged that he was beaten, humiliated and provoked by shopkeeper Amirul Islam of Burhanpur village over a delayed 500 taka installment for a mobile phone bought on credit, while his mother claimed the shopkeeper forced him to ingest poison, an allegation denied by the accused. Police said the incident is under investigation and no case has been filed as yet. The death is being reported as the 8th killing of a Hindu man in Bangladesh in less than a month amid rising attacks on minorities. The Embassy of India in Kathmandu celebrated Vishwa Hindi Divas on Saturday, which was attended by various academic institutions, universities and Hindi prodigies in Kathmandu. The celebration was marked by Hindi poetry recitation, Hindi songs performance along with other cultural performances. Vishwa Hindi Divas marks the anniversary of the first World Hindi Conference held on January 10th, 1975 in Nagpur, India. The day is observed globally every year to celebrate Hindi's cultural and linguistic heritage. Still to come on DD India News Hour. Democrats join thousands of protesters against ICE agency in Minnesota. Thousands brave winter cold at ice fishing festival in South Korea. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. US President Donald Trump has said Venezuela has started releasing their political prisoners on Saturday. In a social media post, Trump says Venezuela has started the process, according to him, in a big way of releasing the political prisoners. He hopes those prisoners will remember how lucky they got that the United States came along and did what had to be done. The release of hundreds of political prisoners in South American countries is a long-running demand of human rights groups, international bodies and opposition figures, including Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado, with several close allies imprisoned. Earlier, President Trump signed an executive order protecting US-held money derived from sales of Venezuelan oil after the ouster of Nicolas Maduro, the White House said in a fact sheet accompanying the order. And after Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado suggested giving her 2025 Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump, the Norwegian Nobel Institute clarified it cannot be transferred, shared or revoked. In a statement, the institute said the decision to award a Nobel Prize is final and permanent, citing the stature of the Nobel Foundation, which do not allow appeals. The organization also noted that committees rewarding the prizes do not comment on the actions or statements of laureates after receiving awards. Machado, in an interview, said that presenting the prize to Trump would be an act of gratitude from the Venezuelan people for the removal of Nicolas Maduro, who was captured last week by the United States. Trump, who has long expressed interest in winning the prize and has at times linked it to diplomatic achievements, said he would be honored to accept the prize if offered by Machado during a planned meeting in Washington next week. Nicaragua's authoritarian government said on Saturday that it had released tens of detainees after coming under pressure from the United States. Despite the announcement, US Embassy said more than 60 people in the country remain unfairly detained or missing. An NGO and exiled media outlets reported on Friday that at least 61 people had been arrested, highlighting the ongoing concerns about detentions in the country. South Africa's African National Congress on Saturday unveiled an ambitious 6-point reform drive aimed at transforming public frustration into votes at local government polls later this year. The reform plan focuses on unemployment, deep-rooted corruption, rising inequality and escalating crime, key challenges facing the country's population of over 63 million. Celebrating the party's 114th anniversary, President Ramaphosa said in 2026 his party's top priority would be fixing local government and improving service delivery. The ANC won 40% of the votes in 2024 national elections, a catastrophic slump from 57.5% that it won earlier in 2019. It also suffered record losses in 2021 municipal elections. The first time in democratic era, its support dipped below half of ballots cast nationally.